So it looks like the government shutdown is about to be over. So let's take a look at some of the updates and see what we can decipher from it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
Senate Republican leaders are asking Republican and Democratic colleagues to quickly approve a bill that would end the federal government shutdown. A bipartisan group of senators came to agreement last night, but there are several steps to ending the record shutdown, now 41 days and counting. Fox 4 Sean Rabb has more.
The vote to pass the short-term funding bill came Sunday by a 60-40 margin. The government shutdown proposed spending bill funds the government to the end of January and fully funds SNAP through September 2026, but does not include any extension of health care subsidies to help Americans with insurance under the Affordable Care Act pay those premiums.
I wonder what in the world actually John Fetterman, did he used to be an actor or somebody? But anyway, what was the purpose of the shutdown? And the Democrats were supposed to have caused a shutdown for the insurance benefits for for the credits or whatever. But then they gave up, which I'm not tripping on that. I can understand why. And you know what? We'll get into that a little more later. Let's continue.
Democrats and one independent voted with the Republican majority to get to the 60 votes needed for the measure to move forward.
We applaud the 7 Senate Democrats and 1 independent senator who did the right thing. They decided to put principle over their personal politics. And my urgent plea of all my colleagues in the House, and that means every Democrat in the House, is to think carefully, pray, and finally do the right thing and help us to bring an end to the pain of the American people.
But House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says the majority of Senate Democrats under Chuck Schumer did the right thing, voting no to fund the government. And he says the battle will continue when House Democrats return to Washington.
We're not going to support partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
Have y'all seen the Marvel movies, the Captain Americas, the Avengers, Black Panther? You got Captain America. He took the serum, became the perfect soldiers, perfect specimen, and somehow froze for about 50 years and then came back, and there's nothing wrong with him. But then you have those others that they gave the serum and it didn't work. Kind of messed them up, and it just didn't work right. Like Bucky. Bucky got a strong arm, and that's about it, right? Can't think, brain be fried when they say some certain words in Russia or whatever. Is this the Bucky to Barack Obama? I'm just asking because this dude looks like a cartoon character, like he's sleepy, like he's tired, but he looks like a fake wannabe Barack Obama. Talks the cadence, his cadence in speech, just like Barack Obama. I wonder if he's just a cheap knockoff of your former president of the United States.
And we're going to continue the fight to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And if it doesn't happen this week, next week, this month, next month, then it's the fault of Donald Trump, House and Senate Republicans.
Jeffrey said the 8 who voted with Senate Republicans will have to explain their actions to their constituents and the American people. But many Democrats openly criticize their fellow party members, calling their decision to vote with Republicans betrayal and pathetic.
Now that's crazy. This is what I mean when I say when we talk about party lines, voting on party lines, and not voting for the people. Claiming being loyal to a party is very, to me, ignorant for human beings, for U.S. citizens, because in the grand scheme of things, and what I'm saying, they do not really care about the American people like they say. Your Democrats are more worried about giving immigrants who they want to vote for them. Who was that one that voted was it New York? One that mayor vote? And he was what do you call him, a socialist Democrat? And then and you had people that showed videos where a guy he was going to vote and they didn't even ask him for his ID. And he was like, why don't you ask me for my ID? She was like, just put your name down and we're just gonna go by that by the ledger. And that's it. And he's like, but you're not gonna ask for my ID. So it's like, and they said that a lot of illegal immigrants voted in that election, and that's probably how old boy won. But anyway, they're more worried about those who don't have citizenship in this country getting health benefits in part, instead of worrying about, well, those who are citizens, uh, you jacking up their SNAP benefits. They're not going to be able to eat this month. People are panicking. It's like you're not worried about the citizens that are in the country. It's like take care of home first. That's one thing the scriptures say. You take care of home first, and then you go out and help everybody else. And it seems like the Democrats not even trying to help home first. And the reason I'm speaking on Democrats is because my people love to follow, loyal to the Democratic Party, not the Republican Party, at least not in the last 60 years. So I'm not really going to speak on them. I'm just talking about you fighting for a party who is not fighting for you. That's the issue I got.
Have support from enough Democrats?
Monday, President Donald Trump urging air traffic controllers to return to work immediately and vowing to open the government quickly. We'll see.
And see, that's another thing. You got people who are working for free. You got people who are out of work. So those 7 Democrats and that one independent, I applaud them just on a moral standpoint. I may not agree with so many people getting SNAP benefits, but you know what? Right now, they got to get them. You know what I'm saying? Cutting off anything cold turkey. Now, there is a process, I feel, that the way that things should go when it comes to those SNAP benefits, but that's for a later topic, for a later day. But again, you got these government workers who are sitting at home, can't work, or working for free. I mean, a lot of these folks work in Washington, D.C. Why would you want citizens to not get paid? Because they not missing no money. The politician not missing a dime. They getting paid all day, every day, without, you know what I'm saying, without a skip, without a beat, a skip of the beat. But you don't care about people that's working for you. You want them to come in and work and do, you got people that are suffering that has nothing to do with what you supposedly fighting for. But what else do you expect? I mean, here, these are the same people that will start wars and send your child, your 18, 19-year-old over to another country to fight and to pretty much risk their lives and probably die or be maimed in wars over something that they start, over something that they feel that they want. And it ain't got nothing to do with your children. So, I mean, go figure.
Sean Rabb, Fox 4 News.
Many states remain in limbo as the Trump administration goes back and forth with the courts over the release of SNAP benefits for 42 million Americans. A federal appeals court ordered the Trump administration to pay the SNAP benefits in full. Then the Supreme Court temporarily paused that order. Some states already paid the benefits in full and are concerned they may not get reimbursed. Other states are providing partial benefits.
It makes it impossible to be able to plan for how the family is going to be able to get through that day, that week, the next month, because they don't know when that funding is going to be coming in.
A Dallas church is doing what it can to help federal workers in its congregation. And coming up at 4:30, we're going to talk with some of the furloughed workers on the receiving end of those donations about what this means for them.
Talking about, I believe, Concord Church, which is, I mean, it's a reputable church. Like, I know they do a lot of work in the community. They do ministries to actually get families, put families together, and keep everybody on a spiritual level. So I applaud them for doing that. Look at all them yellow bananas, man. Them things be ripe in a couple of days. But anyway, let's continue.
There's also confusion today about President Trump's pledge to give Americans dividend checks from tariff revenue. It would be a $2,000 direct payment to most Americans. But the president's Treasury Secretary has different ideas. Fox's Madeline Rivera has details.
You know what? We're not going to talk about the tariffs now because I want to stay on the government shutdown. So here's the thing. And here's the question I got for you guys. For those of you who are on the SNAP benefits, for those of you who are on the affordable, like I guess Obamacare, Affordable Care Act insurance, the question is not if the government is going to reopen and reissue all these benefits. The question is, what are you going to do now to make sure that you are not put in this same situation again? I've heard women say in the past that they say they're getting a bad relationship. Okay. And first thing they're gonna say is, I'm gonna make sure that nobody will ever be able to put me in this type of predicament again when they leave the guy. And they go on to try to go to school, get a good job, a career, whatever, so they ain't got to depend on a sorry dude or an abusive dude or a dude with a bunch of baby mamas and counting. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. But then sometimes they go right back to the type of dude that they just left. But anyway, the point is they're gonna make a way to try to make things better in their lives or their kids' lives. So that's why my question is, are you gonna think the same thing about your government daddy? Because I don't say it many times that I've been on food stamps, I think a couple of times in my life. When I was younger, right before I got married the first time, and then it was like a few months, and then the second time was when I was trying to get through school and my kids needed insurance, and I wasn't working a full-time job to provide them insurance, you know what I'm saying, and getting ready to be on child support and all this kind of crap, whatever. And so I did it like that. It was on there probably like a year and a half, but I had a goal to get off, and I did get off, you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying, and the rest is history. But my thing is, what are you going to do to make sure this does not affect you if it happens again directly? We got to do better as a people. Got to go through this. And this ain't the first time the government shut down. This might be the first time that food stamps has been cut off. But even with that, what it's telling you is anything can happen, and this government funding is gone. They are already, I think, talking about putting in programs to cut some of the funding anyway. And so you should be prepared for that. I see a lot of videos on TikTok, on the internet, where people crying, fussing, hollering, cussing, mad, because them food stamps gonna be cut off. But yet they're not hollering, fussing, cussing, mad about losing a job or not getting enough overtime or not even getting hired. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing it. It's can't hear them on that. But when it comes to this, like I say, this stuff, these handouts, boy, they raising hell. And the thing about it, it's a handout that we, the taxpayers, are paying for you to be able to survive a little while, not for the rest of your life or for the rest of your child's life, but just for a little while so you can get on your feet. And yet you refuse to do it. My thing, I'm gonna say this: what you need to do is number one, get your budget. Get your budget sheet. Find sure there's plenty of them online. Hell, if you even reach out to me, I'll send you a copy of the one I got to where you can use it and start create, you know what I'm saying, and create your budget. I promise you will be surprised how much money you waste in a month. How much money you could be saving, you could be stacking in a month just by putting it on paper. Because once you see it, it's going to open your eyes. It's going to make you feel a lot different, and it's going to me, it's making me go forward with plans and put things in practice. Now I had plans once I put this budget in place like a few days ago. I looked at it. I like, oh man, I was surprised. Like I said, I was surprised about how much money I was wasting, how much money I should have in my account. A lot more money than I got right now. So I said, okay, we finna be strict I'm finna automate all my bills. They're gonna because the goal is to one, stop using apps that charge you money to either get or send your money, such as Cash App, uh what's that, daily pay for on a job. They charging you a percentage of your money. I earned that money. Why would I pay somebody else? Now I can use daily pay, take the money out, but then be wait a couple of days and it's free. But most people take it out of daily pay, need that money right then and there. And you see it all the time. People um take the money out, keep taking money out, keep taking money out. Then when they get a check, they ain't got no money. And they're like, what the hell? Matter of fact, they might owe some money. So I think they kind of tweaked it, but you ain't got much money left. And now you stuck because you don't use your money buying a bunch of other crap that you shouldn't been buying, and now you in the hole. So daily pay is not a good idea for you. Cash App, same thing. You send money or you can send money, I guess, for free, but if they want to take it out, it's gonna cost them. Or you know what I'm saying, unless they just leave it in there. Again, I ain't trying to pay nobody to either send or receive my money. Can't do it. I already pay taxes on it, so wipe that out. Uh, get an account, money market account, to where you don't have to pay. I don't have to pay ATM fees with a bank account that I got. So I go to any ATM, and instead of if I got to buy something with a credit card, and they say it's going to be like a percentage, I said, "No, don't worry about it. Where your ATM machine at?" And I go to the ATM, and the ATM says, it's going to charge you $2, $3, $4 to take the money out. Do you want to continue? Of course, I continue because I'm gonna get that money back. Also try to pay, let's say automate all my bills, pay bills through credit card, to where if there's any kind of fraudulent activity, anything like that, it's easier to dispute it and get that money back with a credit card than it is with your own bank, where your money is, that you've probably been banking with for 20, 30 years. But those little things like that, that money adds up and it goes back into your pocket. Just little tweaks like that. Like I say, if I automate everything, then I don't even have to look at the bank because I know how much I make. So I know the money's going to be in there. So I ain't got no problem with it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how you should do. If you don't have that kind of money in the bank, then you know what you might need to do? You might need to move back home with your mom and daddy, or get a roommate or something, so you can try to stack your money. Because now's the time. It seems like it's not going to get any better. The economy is not going to get any better anytime soon. So you need to prepare for it. Like I say, like I say, your government daddy is not thinking about you like that, not trying to save your life. Government daddy trying to save his own life, stack his own pockets. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nancy Pelosi. They said that woman there made what, 18,000% growth on a stock she bought, because everybody knows she's doing like some insider trading or whatever the case may be. Man, like I said, them people ain't worried about poor folk like that. But y'all just keep on voting for them Democrats to help us out. And again, they like I said, they play in your face. They show you who they are from the jump, and yet you still surprised, Bob. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those 8 people who got on the Republican side to open the government back up, because again, morally, it's the right thing to do right now, because you have cut the water off on a lot of people in instantaneous. Also saving at least 3 months of your bills. That should be your first priority. Stack enough money to where you can pay bills for 3 months, just in case something like this happens. That's for anybody, whether you're on government assistance or not, or you got a government job or not. You should stack that kind of. You should save that kind of money anyway, because at any time you can lose your job. And then that extra money that you sit there and waste all the time every month, use that money to buy like some life insurance for like a few $100,000, maybe $1 million, and it'd be like no more than $20, $30 a month. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Again, if you want a copy of, like I say, I think what I just say, my budget, the budget sheet that I got. Like I say, hit me up, however, email, put it in the comments, whatever, and email address or what have, and I'll send you a copy. I'll try to send you a copy of it, and then you can put your stuff in there and start your own budget. But like I say, this is about growth. grassroots, our wealth, tradition, and heritage. And we got to start somewhere. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here at this channel. With that being said, I leave you peace, love, and I'll see you on the other side.